Thank you everybody for tuning in today. I'm Zay, and this is the owner's manual. We are kicking it off a little bit different. We are here at the complex for season 2, and I just want to say shouts outs to everybody involved. Shouts out to Jose, shouts out to Tati, and we here with a very special guest today to kick off the season, Edwin of Lost Apollo. How we doing today?
We're doing pretty good. Feeling good. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Like I said, kicking it off. Season 2, and I want to say, like, I got up and you was like, man, you don't even got to get up because you got the lighter right here, and just starting out like Apollo. That's the clothing brand.
Lost Apollo. Yeah.
Lost Apollo.
Yeah, that's the brand. And I try to be prepared. You feel me? Brought a couple of them. You know.
So how did you get started with this brand? And it seems like you got, like, you know, a couple facial expressions, like personalities, a title on it. It's like, where did it all start out?
Well, that's just really what it is. Like, when you say personalities and faces, it's really just expression.
Mm-hmm.
It's an expressive brand, an expressive, creative brand, really. So initially it started off as a clothing brand, me just wanting to do some really dope shit, you know, like some really cool graphics, and I wanted to wear it too, obviously. But as it's been growing with me, it's just I'm constantly refining what it is that I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm getting more clarity with it in time, like.
So
it's more of an expressive, creative brand. Like I said initially, it's not just about T-shirts anymore. It's more about expression, straight up.
So you said, like, you started out with just T-shirts. You always wanted to, you know, create some dope and then wear it like the functional style, like streetwear. Because some people, they create like styles for other people, you know. So from T-shirts to what was that next, like, level up?
Hoodies. T-shirts, hoodies. Actually, I think it kind of started off as hoodies, because I'm more of a hoodie guy anyway. I love hoodies, you know what I mean? Plus they just last longer.
For sure.
I like durability, you know. T-shirts aren't as durable, you know, but hoodies, what I found is you can do a lot with them. When you're creating, you can do a lot of shit with hoodies, bro. I done did so much with hoodies. Like, they just take to the art style well. And, like, mixed media, like, if I wanna cut it and then I wanna sew it and bleach it, or fucking if I wanna paint on it, like, it'll hold everything. It'll hold just about everything. Kinda like denim. You know, you can do just about anything with denim.
Got you.
You know, when you're creating, you know, but yeah, the hoodies is where it kind of started too. I dropped some really dope hoodies. After I had made the graphic, the ghoul, the original Lost Apollo ghoul.
That's what it is. It's a ghoul.
Yeah, it's my ghoul. Yeah. So, like, when anybody see that ghoul, like, they know, like, shit, that's Lost Apollo. You know what I mean? Like. Right. Not even this guy. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how that happened. I think this guy he took to me more because he happened more organically. You know what I mean? Like, I was actually just sitting in class sketching, deadass, and I was sketching on the back of a notebook. Shit just kind of came to me. I was just, you know, doodling. I actually used to do that a lot in school. I would just sit there and fucking doodle.
Just draw?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, my teachers, like, they were cool about it because it was really neat. Like, my doodles and everything, they were really concise. They were really just, like, chill, controlled, and they were free. So, like, I would sit there and draw on assignments and shit all
just
like,
on the side and shit, just turn that shit in?
All period. Like I would complete the work. Don't get me wrong. I would do the work, but, like, for whatever reason, right. I had to draw on that shit, bro. Like,
never get some extra credit just because the shit was so cold? Like,
nah, I wouldn't. I would have been a fucking scholar. That would have been dope. But nah.
So what At what age was you like drawing sketches and shit like that?
I started taking it seriously around 14.
Got you.
Yeah, when I first like got into, I guess you could say, the workforce, but it wasn't really the workforce. It was more of a mentoring program.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my mentor, Tommy Barnes. He runs a youth group out of Mount Clemens, TCB mentoring program, and
got you.
I think he knew, he felt what I was feeling when I told him, like, you know, I want to do something, you know, with this, like, cause I could draw really good at the time, but obviously it got better over the years. But like, I don't even want to speak too much on his behalf.
Got you.
Like, it would have to be something that you talk to him about, because he's seen it too. Like, just watching my growth, it's crazy.
So like,
I was 14 around that time.
That was going to lead into my next question of because like I feel like you so dialed in, at such like a younger age. You know what I'm saying? And typically, like I see that comes from someone who like has a mentor, or like someone to be like, just really give them that push. Like, hey, I don't know why you keep thinking about it. Like, go ahead and do that. And honestly, sometimes that's really all it takes. Just somebody to just, go ahead and like do. I don't know why you waiting. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was.
Yeah, just
for
do
me.
it.
But I ain't really like have a mentor. It was just people being like, dog, I don't, like literally just that. And I'm like, yeah, and that's all it really took. But I feel like I learned from like trial and error. Like, did you ever like bump your head like along the way?
In regards to personal development,
I would say like,
always,
like the journey to get here.
Yeah, definitely. But I honestly, like I was saying, like, it's an expressive brand, so that plays a huge role in the shit that I create, honestly. Because I'm creating off just about everything, like feeling,
right, what
I'm thinking. Yeah, it's really just a combination of what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking, honestly. You know what I mean? And what reality, like, what feedback am I getting from reality? Like, pushing out on my thoughts, putting them out there, and whatever reaction I'm getting, you know what I mean? Like, taking that in. Sometimes it's not always pleasant, because we like to think that we know.
Right.
Well, we like to think that we know. You know what I mean? So
we don't know. We know.
Yeah. So like, when you get that feedback, it's like, okay, like, it humbled me. You know what I mean? But I don't stop.
Right.
I never give up, and I dial into it more. I get more into it. You know what I mean? If the outcome is not what I expected it to be, I go harder. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I know I'm close.
Right.
Whatever it is that I'm reaching for, whatever it is I'm searching for, I know I'm close. So, yeah. It's crazy.
How old was you when you made your first hoodie?
16. Yeah, I was 16 when I made my first hoodie. I was actually working for a screen print company called J Silk Screens.
Got you.
My mentor actually plugged me with them too, which was really dope. Cause like I said, like, he kind of like really supported everything that I was trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted me to have that direction as much as I wanted it. So
right.
Even before, I gotta back up. I'm getting too ahead of myself. I was airbrushing before I started screen printing and like making T-shirts and hoodies and shit like that.
Oh, right.
And that was crazy. I don't know if you ever been to the Gibraltar Trade Center in Mount Clemens.
Nah,
like right there on Crass. Okay. Well, it's not there no more, but it was literally like I don't want to call it a flea market, but it's really just you been there? It's really just like a really big market of just everything, bro. Like fucking jewelry, rugs, carpet, like fucking electronics, just about anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where niggas used to get they drip. All the Gucci, the Louis, everything, the Trues, all that. So, but everybody, all the entrepreneurs, like they had their own, booths and setups and everything in there. So like, when my mentor, which was a really good a smart move on his end when he realized that he couldn't really help me with the hands-on artistic development. He delegated it to my friend Chauncey.
Okay.
And that's when I started to get a feel like for different medias. So I went to airbrushing. But before airbrushing, I was like painting. I was hand painting shit, and then it went to clothing. Okay, like I want to wear it, like I mentioned earlier. Like, how can I wear this? So I started airbrushing, and that airbrushing is very meticulous. It's just, I don't know, it just didn't stick with me. You know, it was cool to do. It was cool to learn. I would actually I'm gonna still incorporate it today, like like whatever projects. Like, I don't know, just taking everything I learned, everything that I've done, and just kind of incorporating it into, just refining it and reincorporating the shit. You know, that's just.
I mean, do you believe in the sense that like history repeats itself? Like the lesson you learn, you know, it's not like you just learn it once and you just store it. You're gonna use it again, like it's some form of fashion.
Definitely, because my life feel like it's been on a loop. I ain't gonna lie to you. The way I see time, it feel like it's on a loop, bruh. Like.
So you feel like shit didn't happen again? Like, or you experience like a lot of deja vu?
I can't even call it deja vu, but I don't even know if this is good or bad. I don't know what this is, but it literally feels like my life has been on a continuous loop, and I'm just experiencing different shit throughout that loop. You know what I mean? Like, so that when I realized that, it just kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe this shit is just one really big experience. Like my whole life is just gonna be one long, you know, detailed experience. And you know, I don't know, but I honestly want to break that quantum, because I don't know if that's a good thing, because I don't want to keep repeating every year. You know what I mean?
Right.
If it feels the same and it looks the same,
it's the same.
How do I break out of that? You know what I mean? So I guess that's honestly what's driving me, to be honest.
Breaking out that loop
of myself. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I definitely
consistently like trying to push myself out of that. New ideas, new thoughts. Just kind of trying to move differently about how I do things. Growth.
In the like world of design, do you ever feel like I'm trying to translate how writers like get like writer's block? Is there like have you ever felt like a block when you've been
like a
trying
creative block?
Yeah, when you've been trying to create. And how do you get around that?
I think what happens is, like, if it weren't for my body needing rest, I probably wouldn't rest. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like I need to. When my mind is going, I feel like I should be creating. I should be doing. You know what I mean? But it comes a point where like your body like, all right, nigga, like we need to dial back some. We need to relax. Okay, but before we do that, you know, you're tired. You need rest. Like your body starts to tell you. And then I feel like your body's so smart that it'll go to whatever's causing you to keep doing that, and it'll shut that down. Just to get you to stop or take a break or rest a little bit. So that might be what it is. Like if you 24/7 constantly immersed in whatever it is you're doing, you're not really giving time and attention to everything else. Your body is just one whole working function. Everything has to work together. So
no, I definitely feel that when I be like working on shit at like a continuous, like for hours, like I feel like I be working backwards. Like everything I done built, and I feel like a block, and I try to like power through it, and I feel like I be sometimes like breaking or crumbling everything I done built, like that momentum. I'm like, you know what, you're right, it is rest. And I like how you put it, like, because it is at a sense like we do gotta listen to our bodies, because it do be telling us shit, like, and I be, you know, it like your mind is a very powerful, you know, like muscle, you know what I'm saying? Like it can make you not even recognize your own blessings, right in front of you, or like,
tell me about it.
It's like you said, like stop or eat or sleep, because I'd be working until I forget. I'm like, oh shit, I need to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'll be on the road a lot and eat like maybe like once every like 12 hours, and I'm like, fuck, let me just pull over real quick. Like,
oh yeah,
should be getting crazy.
So I think that's kind of what happened to me. Like when I go to sleep, there's no transition period. There's no up, tired, and then sleep. It's just straight woke and sleep. Let's go straight to sleep.
You know how that trend? You don't quote unquote wind down.
Yeah, no.
But so like you just work, sleep. You don't wind down. Like, what's the in between even look like?
The in between is like so like I know when I procrastinate. My procrastination is the in between. So I'll allow so much procrastination because I know it's necessary. Like it's needed a little bit. And plus, when I'm procrastinating, I'm still thinking about what it is that I need to be doing. I think people put a really bad label on procrastination because it's not like you just putting off the project, but you still thinking about it.
Right.
I still consider that working on it. You feel me? Like
you could be working on it or working yourself up. Like, 'cause I feel like there might be like a tale of two ends to it. Like I feel like on the terms of procrastination, if you work well, like giving yourself a limited amount of time, like sometimes like I could compare it to like writing an essay. That shit I always just wait until like the last minute, but I knew like if I gave myself like a certain amount of time, I could write it out and not overthink it because I get in my head so much. Compared to like if I took the appropriate amount of time, I would be write something out, delete it again, write something out, delete it again, where I might not even progress at the rate that I should, compared to just getting it done. And like I feel like I saved myself from like working myself up in a sense compared to like working actually on any kind of project. So
I know exactly what you mean. So like giving yourself too much leeway, you got too much room to explore. But when you get, like you said, waiting to the last minute, it's really crunch time.
Right.
But like people say like, oh, I work good under pressure. That's exactly what that is. Like when it's crunch time, like, okay, I need to get X, Y, and Z done. Your brain is gonna make it work. All the most important ideas and thoughts and concepts, your brain is gonna connect them bitches and it's gonna flow smoothly. You know what I mean? As opposed to having too much time, too much space to think about the project and shit. Like, no, laser focus. Right now, I need to get this done. I got a set time. I need to get this shit done. It needs to be this way. So, you putting it all together, like, bruh. I always go through that process because I know that's when I produce some of the best work, and I surprise myself with the results.
So
it's crazy.
We definitely like define procrastination and what it can do to some people, but how would you define like pressure in your sense?
How would I define the pressure? Oh,
like what's pressure to you? Like
pressure to me is like when it comes to projects or like just like whatever.
When you feel like your back is against the wall, like what made you feel like that?
Shit, what makes me feel like that is when I'm not prepared. My back is definitely against the wall when I'm not prepared, because I have to innovate.
Right.
I have to be fast and reactive, and like you don't really get good results that way when you just doing shit on the fly. But like, even what we were just previously talking about, even with the procrastinating, like you still had a general idea of what direction to go in.
Right.
But when it's just like instant pressure on you, you don't know what direction to go. So it's all faith, like going with your gut, your instinct, and you better fucking hope that you very intuitive with yourself. You very in tune with yourself at that point to be able to tap into that. So yeah, I mean, I don't really trip about pressure, really.
Yeah, true.
A lot of this shit that I be working on is really just, it's really self-development, for real. So like, even me just saying that it's a creative, expressive brand, it's really just me reaching for that man that I see. You know what I'm saying? That man that I know I can be, and dealing with the present man that I am. That's kind of what that is, bro. Like every time I complete a project, it's like, not to beat myself up or not to say that I don't appreciate how far I've come. It's more like, how can this be better? Like this shit can definitely be better. It's fire, no doubt. Like this is dope, yeah. But next time I'm gonna add X, Y, and Z, or I'll just be thinking about the shit all day. I love thinking. I was just telling somebody the other day, like, it feels like a actual activity. I can just sit and think. It feels like I've done something. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can just sit and brainstorm, bro, and it literally feels like I've done like some physical. Like I still get that feeling like I've exhausted myself, not in a bad way, but like I've exerted myself in a way.
So for me, it's like I honestly like. I'm very good at overthinking it to a point where I feel like I can spiral out of control, and like I need good people to bounce those ideas off me. So like I feel like I work best like in a like group of 3 or something like that. Shouts out to Tati, because when we brainstorm, we just be over a wood and just like, and we've like the opportunity is limitless. You know, do you feel like you have like a certain like tribe of people you just like can just bounce an idea off of, where like that synergy is created, or are you just like, you know, I can just sit and chill like by myself?
I can do it by myself because it's been just me for a long time until I started like running. The universe started connecting me with like-minded people. It was really good. So like Tati, for example, like you said, love having conversation with Tati. Like we can actually take the idea and it's like we're passing it back and forth to each other. And every time I pass it to her, something sticks, and when she passes it to me, something sticks. It's just like it just gets bigger, like what do they call that? The snowball effect. You feel me?
The avalanche, like momentum.
Yes, or it just amplifies the idea, and that's what I appreciate. So I'm actually very selective about who I talk to my ideas about, or just who I even introduce that energy to. You know what I mean? Because it's really sacred, honestly.
You ever make the wrong move? You telling somebody, the wrong person, the right idea?
Yeah, but you know what? I understand people to a degree, so I don't even feel any type of way if I put an idea on somebody and they, shoot it down, or they don't see it, or whatever. Sometimes I just need to talk about it, to hear myself talk about it, for it to make more sense. You know what I mean? So I'm selective about input as well. I don't take everybody's input. I don't take everybody's advice. I don't take everybody's idea or any of that shit. It's just, sometimes I be doing this shit for me. You know what I mean? I need to hear myself say this. Just so it makes sense. It make more sense when it's coming out your mouth. So
just say it out loud, see how it feel, type shit.
Yeah, definitely. So like, even like when I'm at work, like people still be calling me weird. Bro, all high school, everybody been calling me weird as fuck. Like, okay, whatever. Like when I think about high school, that's all I can see. That's all I can hear. He weird as fuck. He just weird.
How old is you, by the way?
How old am I currently?
Yeah.
22.
Oh shit.
Yeah. What? You thought I was older? Younger? What?
I just knew you was young. I mean, I didn't think you was older than me.
Man, how old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, all y'all timeless, man.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's all good. Shit. We all timeless.
I like how you said, you got exposed to like, was it like the first was it trade show at like the flea market? Like,
yeah, airbrushing. That was pretty cool, but also just seeing everybody in that space and seeing my mentor Chauncey at the time, seeing how he operated, how he moved.
Right.
And I could only put this together when I sit and reflect on it, because when I was actually doing it, I wasn't hitting record in my mind. I was just kind of just doing. But when I reflect on it now, it's like it makes a lot more sense for me to put it together.
Like right now, what's like the main avenues of exposure for you? Like where do you feel like you get like the most like exposure?
To what?
Get like the brand out, you know what I'm saying? Like is it like online, or like actually at like the art shows, or
Well, online is where I drive the traffic for people to come see me in person, but it's definitely not online right now. That's like Instagram is the platform.
And where can we follow you at?
_ Lost Apollo _
All right, please. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. You was reading my mind. I wanted to get the social media in. You get me now.
Okay. Yeah.
Now here's a quick message from our sponsors. Do you have that one friend who lives a double life of being a parent and a stoner at the same time? Well, do we got something for them? Sometimes Papa Bear gets absolutely launched. Pre-order now. Click the link in the bio for more info.
Yeah, that's my bread and butter, man. That's literally like my digital portfolio. I don't post everything on there, but I post a lot. I post a lot of the good shit, the aesthetic of the brand. You know,
get comfortable with that. I didn't have enough.
Shit.
Yeah, let's get comfortable. Obviously, I mean, if you want something, go ahead.
I'm thinking about it, man. I don't know. Because I don't want to sit here and just be looking at you. You feel me?
Hey.
Or like look up, like
to each his own.
Man, I mean, you know.
It's.
But you know what? It's crazy though, cause I really only dabble into it when I'm doing like deep shadow work, very deep shadow work. Like the regular shadow work is fine. I can go into deep thought without it, but like when I'm really going deep, bruh, like in isolation. Whenever I really have an issue, like I was mentioning earlier, like when I think I know about something and I throw it out there and reality just kind of bounce back on me and give me that raw feedback.
Right.
That's when I go into like isolation, especially if it affect me. Like,
oh, I feel you. I'm in isolation mode to the end of the year. Ain't nobody gonna see me.
That's where you do the best work, bro.
If I'm out, I'm networking. Like I'm just, like. I met you out at Deluxe Flux. Like I was purely like, all right, but like who am I about to interview? Like, cause you just gotta be in the right.
More comfortable with it. I'm like kind of chilling, but shit, that's cool.
When was the last project you dropped?
The last project, a custom jacket that I did for my friend Chantel. Shout out to her, childhood friend. She got a custom jacket made for her boyfriend for Sweetest Day. And I honestly did not want to get that jacket away. I had a week window, actually a couple days. You know what I mean? Because I was working on shit. I was working on little projects in between up until then. But like we were saying earlier, bro, when it's crunch time,
right?
That's what made me just, I don't know. It put me in my zone, put me in that laser focus. Yeah. To really just
like really lock in,
put that shit together, and I made sure, like I'm getting so good at the shit. Like I always ask them a bunch of questions in regards to what they like and what they want, even though they give me full creative control.
Right.
There's still, I still need to put some of you in there, you know, so you enjoy the project as much as I do. I'm gonna enjoy it regardless, cause it's me. You know what I mean? But I just want to make sure like you can feel it too.
Would you say it was like 50-50, or like what was the like ratio from like you putting your pure artistic vision on it compared to the feedback she gave you?
Probably like 60-40. You know what I mean? Yeah. She gave me general idea of what she wanted, how she wanted it, and I just kind of, I put that bitch together. I ain't gonna lie. So it's like I put it together. Like I did what she wanted, and then some. I still put me in there. So a lot of me is in there. So like, even just minute details. It was just such an incredible process, bro. Honestly.
So and you've been making like 101s, like
the 101s are probably the best because they're so. It's the creativity is so potent because we have a goal. Like I used to color match shoes a lot, you know what I mean? So like this is my goal. Like this shoe, like I need to embody every characteristic of this piece into what I'm doing, but it has to all be me as well. Right. So like I got an assignment. It's definitely an assignment, a project, a legit project. So
you ever feel challenged, or you ever feel like?
Do I feel challenged? Yeah,
at times.
I kind of only do the projects now that are challenging, like that, because those are the ones that are worth it.
Yeah, like
I don't want to keep I kind of get bored fast, so I don't want to keep doing the same shit.
Got you. Is that why you don't like? Is that the reason for the one it was instead of like having like a like
whole
inventory?
run? Yeah, a whole run of the same hoodie or the same jacket. The one-on-ones are staple pieces, and it makes people feel special. It makes people feel like very significant about their ideas. And I get it too. I get the creativity. I get the ideas. You know what I mean? So like even when I'm talking to Tati, like I can relate a lot to what she's saying. Like,
so like
any type of creative ideas or whatever, I can break it down. My mind can build ideas.
You said like, like the one-on-ones like are more stable pieces. You think that's like a more sustainable model for somebody like you compared to like someone who just kind of like wants everybody to wear the same thing. Like,
are you saying is that what I feel like sets me aside from different brands?
Yeah.
In a way, yeah. I kind of really don't think about it like that. I just kind of think about connecting creatively with other people.
Got you.
That's kind of how I feel about it. I'll call it a collab. You know what I mean? Even though I don't establish that in the conversation.
Got you.
These people feel like they come to me as the creative because they feel like I have this extraordinary like superpower, like super brain, but like I'll call it a creative to literally put you in it with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I put you in that world with me. This is a collaborative project. And I might have had all the ideas, but it don't matter. This is a collective project.
Right. So
get their brains moving. Like I've literally watched it happen. It's crazy. Hoping people tap into creativity they didn't know they had. I'll just literally put an idea on them and just sit there and watch them build it. It's crazy.
So you are very like receptive. People come to you for the collabs, or are you one to like reach out to like be like, hey, bro, like I got this idea, like. So how does that creative process work out? So
mainly people just like come to me or like they're interested in something that they don't know they're interested in just yet. So that's the salesman in me. That's the me like asking questions and getting like answers.
Navigating.
Oh yeah.
To that desired product.
Yep, definitely filling that out to really see what's on your mind, picking your brain apart, like really getting to the bottom of what it is that you're here for. Okay, and then if I see somebody wearing something or I'll think about whatever someone's doing. As far as like their occupation and everything, I think we're gonna cut it right here.
Yeah.
Oh, we good? Okay, yeah. So I'll think about whatever it is they're doing and how I can incorporate what it is that I'm doing in their projects too. So I hit them in that instance. I'll hit them up like, listen, let me create X, Y, and Z for you for this. It'll be super dope or whatever. And usually they be down with it. Usually, sometimes they not because they feel like I never really talk about like pricing and everything or whatever. If I come to you, you don't have to pay for anything. If I'm coming to you about a creative project, like hey, let me make this for you. Let me do this for you.
Yeah.
Or for us, whatever. I don't know. People get funny about money for reasons.
I mean, like the organic process, like it needs to be like genuine, and like I feel like you got to like hold off on that topic for a little bit to get the idea to like really flourish to its true potential.
You're talking about the idea of money, right? People thinking about the money before we even.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like but growing up, who would you say did you have any inspirations as far as like designers at all?
Not any particular designer, but like I would look at just all the brands. I don't know, like all the mainstream brands and just like I don't know, just look at how exotic this shit was and see like what they were doing. And I will say this, I have to throw this in there. Let's see, actually earlier this year and last year I was working at Saks Fifth Avenue at Somerset, and I would honestly just walk away from my work just to go look at it, like the Off-Whites and like just all the crazy exotic brands.
Yeah.
And I would just sit here and think like, yo, all of this shit are ideas that have come to me at some point, or things that I've done. And you don't know how, I can't explain to you how gratifying that is.
I think I know how you feel though. Like,
yeah,
in a sense, it's like you know you're on the right track, and it's like all
bro,
right,
precisely.
Like, I don't even have to even doubt because these worldwide brands are doing it, and I had these thoughts even before I saw it. You know what I'm saying? You just,
bro, precisely.
So it's like I might just keep going.
Yeah, definitely. So like that's where I found that gratitude, that appreciation for whatever force is truly driving me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that's pushing this creativity out of me, and like whatever it is, that's where I found that gratitude, bro. Like big time. So that just made me that was very reassuring to me. Like I don't even have to really take inspiration from anything. Just really keep broadening the capacity of my brain. Like,
got you.
Just keep working on my mind. You know what I mean? That's about it. That's really all I be trying to do, bro.
I think like, you know, it's like going from seeing that, having that feeling, and then like might be to now, and you know I ain't gonna speak for anybody, but like me and my experience, like I get inspired by my own potential. Like, I feel like you're saying, you know, it's like, because I asked somebody like, you know, you have any inspirations just in general? It's like honestly, like what we about to do inspires me, and I'm like, yep, like I felt that. So like what's next for Apollo?
So like I mentioned earlier, I'm always constantly refining my process because it's growing with me.
Yeah.
The work you can do, I don't know, every time I step away from it for a little bit, it's just for growth, bro. It's just literally for growth and development. That's why this is an expressive brand. It's really just how much more can I create? It's limitless, bro. I really see I'm getting to a place in my mind where I don't see any limits, and I want to keep reaching for that shit. Like you said, getting inspired by your own potential, by your own projects. Right. I'm telling you, bro, when I'm in my mode, like when I'm actually doing this shit, it's releasing so much energy. I'm not getting energy from anything. I'm releasing so much energy, bro. Like I'm sweating. I'm kind of shaking too. I'm kind of anxious because there's so much power in what I'm doing at the moment. Because it's coming from my mind, see, so it's coming from like a super battery. You feel me? Right. And all this shit is flourishing throughout my body. You know what I'm saying? As I'm exuding this shit, like it's just coming out of me. So
it sounds like, man, it's not like you don't do it. You really in it, but someone that really in it. Do you have like a balance, like a hobby you enjoy outside of designing, or just like something that's like, you know what? Let me just pivot real quick, cause you know
so they all kind of go together because I work out too, so I'll hang the pull-up bar up, you know, or like I make sure I have. It's so crazy, bro. Like I think about all this shit like while I'm creating. So like I'll make sure there's space on the floor if I need to stop and do a couple push-ups or some shit just to kind of like loosen up a little bit or something.
You gotta exude that energy though. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, still a lot of fucking energy, bro.
Yeah,
it's a lot of potential energy. It's still creative energy, but like, fuck, you know, it's crazy.
No, I 1000% feel you. Like, in a sense, like I feel like if I don't do enough, I literally get hot. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, and that's why like I used to like work out at night, because like I'll work, but like I'll mentally feel tired, but I still like my body is like up, and I'm like, all right, but let me just work out, and I'll like literally just start sweating like before I get there, because like I don't know, I run hot for some odd reason, but like, I just gotta get that energy out. Like,
yeah, me too, bro.
I don't know.
So like that's where all the exotic stretches and like the crazy pull-ups and push-ups and shit come from. Like my body trying to catch up to my mind, and then there's times where my mind need to catch up to my body. You know what I mean? Just like you mentioned earlier, that balance. It's always about finding that balance, bro. Really.
You know, so like it's more about, you know, clothing, because obviously you got the accessories like the lighters, and I saw that you had like the teddy bear. So like, tell me the origins behind that. Like
behind the teddy bear. Yeah. So, all right, I don't want to spill too much, but it's more about the branding now. Now I'm thinking about branding, and I'm constantly thinking about people.
Gotcha.
How can I get people to incorporate this shit in their lifestyle? So actually, these bears, when you hold these bears close, like when you actually holding it, it feels like an entity. It don't just feel like an object. It feels like an actual entity. It feels like, I don't know. I'm gonna give you one actually, just so you can feel it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I kind of work alone a lot too. So just having this crazy ass collection of just like these creatures that I made with my branding on them, it's crazy. Like it's a really crazy feeling. It's like a checklist in my mind. Like this is creative. This is comforting. This is acceptable.
Like
very acceptable.
Is this going like develop? You know, you're gonna have so many like creatures, ghouls, and bears. You're gonna have like a whole ass habitat.
There's no limit, bro. I told you I don't see no limit. Like I'm really getting to that point where there's no limit. So there could be. I don't feel like I would ever get bored with this because I'm gonna keep. I know myself, and I'm gonna keep refining it until I'm happy with it. You know, my brother asked me the other day, like, you know, have you thought about getting these manufactured? And I'm like, well, definitely, but each one is getting better than the last. So I can't put out the first one. I can't just manufacture that one and get that one out there. But you know, the fifth one is fucking crazy. You know, it's 10 times harder. I can't do that. You know, so I probably won't ever really take that route of manufacturing them because, like I said, it's all about getting past that cap. There is no cap. There's no limit. So, fuck it. I'm gonna incorporate this into it next time. Let's incorporate a functional pocket. You know, so let's do this. Like I get more ideas for the shit as I'm doing it, but there's a level of self-control you gotta have, so I don't be working on that bitch all night. You know what I mean? Or just working on it forever, just one piece. It's like, okay, save that idea for the next one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Put that into the next one. Sometimes I'll write it out. One morning I had to get up and sketch it out because the shit just came to me. I also let my ideas marinate. I let them sit and marinate in my mind because they get better.
Do you feel like, you know, I heard somebody said like the longer you hold an idea in, the worse it gets. Would you say you disagree? Yeah,
hell no, I disagree with that. Bro. Because I've sat on projects, very successful projects, for a month or two actually, but I'm progressively thinking about it. I'm not thinking about it like in a bad way. Like no, this is elevated thinking. This is innovative thinking. I'm thinking of how I'm gonna put it together. I'm thinking about all the right shit. I'm thinking about steps. I'm not thinking about like what would even make the idea worse. I don't know.
It's just
I don't know why they would say that.
Like it was like a famous like TikToker in the sense of like people being like timid to like put out an idea or like some whatever content they was thinking about. I don't know, like it's the age of the internet. Like somebody might beat you to it, all the hypotheticals that somebody might be thinking about.
Yeah, honestly, fuck all that. No, when I'm thinking about an idea and I'm consciously building it, bruh. Like my mind is building ideas on it. So I'm thinking about how I'm gonna put it together. I'm thinking about my personal potential that I've seen and what I can do. I don't know what I can do. I haven't seen it yet. So that's what it is. It's like going through that process in my mind. Like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, it's more about just convincing myself of completing a project before I actually step out on it. And it might take some, depending on the project, the complexity. It might take a couple days. It might take a couple weeks. It might take a couple months. But it's gonna get out, and when I do it, it's gonna be great.
You ever like?
I can speak on behalf of that because it's true. I've done it.
You ever have a turnaround time, but like you feel like you need more than that time, that designated time to execute a project? Like you feel like a week turnaround, you might be like I might need 2 or something like that. That ever happen?
You saying like basically like, do I give myself like a time frame for when I want to complete something?
Yeah, or in a sense of like collaborations or something like that. If somebody asks for a shorter turnaround time than expected.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. This is a very precious. I look at this shit like it's very precious. I'm not finna rush it, and I'm not finna half-ass it either. But I mean, sometimes there's a point in time where I was making a lot of money, so I was just like, okay, cool, like this could be just a cash grab project, whatever, and I just put it out. It's still dope, but it's not to what it could have been if I had more time or whatever. But I kind of don't really focus on that now. I don't do projects like that. I don't rush projects, and I don't just do no little quick weird shit no more because it's not worth it no more.
That jacket you made for old girl, was that like a do that no more? Or is it just like a
no? Actually, I actually did put a lot of time into that. So outside of like my work schedule, I've dedicated all of the time that I'm supposed to be sleeping to that project.
Damn.
Active, like literally, bro. Like Tati can tell you, bro. I was literally up for 24 hours. They had to send me home from work because I was falling asleep at the wheel. Because I had 2 projects to complete, but I really needed to complete that jacket. It was just that, I don't know, it was just that level of dedication. Like, I noticed this is more important, honestly. On some real shit like this, this project right here is more important than anything else. So, whatever. And they, I was out just doing other shit too. The whole time I'm just thinking about this project. What am I going to add next to it? How am I going to put this bitch back together? How am I going to build this? I didn't have a complete vision in my mind for it yet, but that works for me.
At what point did you like develop that basically that drive? You know what I'm saying, to really prioritize that jacket over sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it always in you? Like, even from the jump, or like develop like at one point, like, I really got it.
I crawled to it. I crawled to it. So that mindset is gradual. That shit was very gradual because I used to just be like very self-doubtful and shit like that. So like when I started to like complete projects better than I expected them to be, that shit gave me a lot of confidence. It just gave me like, I really don't need that much sleep. Straight up, bottom line, like whatever. I don't really need that much sleep anyway, but like the shit give me more confidence when I complete the project better than I thought it would be. So like when I started doing that, I started to see. That's when I started to see my potential. You feel me? It's like I don't know. It's like a gamble, bro. It's really just a gamble. I don't know how this shit gonna come out. I just do it, and I do it the best way I can do it. I do it with all my attention to detail. I give it my all, bro. Like I try to give it as much as I can. So every element of it is good, no matter what.
So that's the funny thing is you might be the first guest of the owner's manual that don't smoke, but you say you somebody that likes to think, and I'm somebody that likes to think, and I feel like I excel when I smoke. So I feel like you would be the same if you smoke, but that's obviously not the case. So
no, it's actually backwards, bro, which is crazy. So that's why I'm always picking people's brains on what smoking really does for them, or how does it help them. If you ask anybody I hang around, like they'll tell you. I always ask questions about the weed like it's foreign to me, because I'm trying to understand how can you do it and just be so functional, be so okay, I don't know. I like to be alert. I like to be aware. I like to be attentive. I'm not saying that weed diminishes that. I don't know. That's why I ask so many questions. Like, damn, how do you feel when you smoke?
I can say
I just ask casually.
From like a time when I had to like study and go to class type shit, I told myself, all right, there's only like a couple things I gotta focus on. Like that's the content and me like writing notes. So I just like perfected that and got good at just like locking in on a couple things, and then I low-key stumbled in a sense, like I wasn't aware. So I think I took like not even like a step back. I just like I was smoking like intensely, like just doing a lot of concentrates, and I was like, no, let me just go back to flower, and that helped me kind of like experience the high and still be like alert, like head on a swivel. But I would say like it taught me like how to deal with people, it would just make my tolerance for just annoying ass people way higher. I practice patience a lot more. I could get my thoughts together, and yeah. But I definitely want to say like thank you for coming on.
For sure,
is there
man.
anybody you want to shout out?
I just want to shout out you. I want to shout out Tati for like just putting this together. This is actually pretty cool. Like I said, I've never done a podcast before, so this was really smooth. Shit. Yeah, man. I want to shout out everybody that's been rocking with the brand really, and just I don't know, really trusting me. I think I said that on my last post. Like I love the people that just really trust me with this. You know what I mean? Like a baby.
Right.
Like blindly trusting me to just be who I need to be. So appreciate y'all for that. Y'all can follow Lost Apollo, my business page, my digital portfolio _ Lost Apollo _ yeah, keep creating.
And we out.